Okay, so welcome to a new video. Now it's going to be an extremely exciting video on Helium 10. And if you don't know what Helium 10 is, it's kind of the daddy of keyword research tool, and it's got a whole host of other useful tools for selling online. And it's generally considered to be the most accurate piece of software in terms of taking data from Amazon. And I've decided to hold off making this video for quite some time, and there's two reasons because of that. So the first one being is that I actually use this software for my publishing business, so it's taken me some time to learn how to actually use it specifically for publishing. Okay, and the second reason is because now is the absolute best time to try Helium 10, because right now for the next 2 days between the 27th and the 29th of this month, Helium 10 are running their Cyber Monday promotions, which means that for the Platinum plan here, you're going to be getting the first 2 months for half price. And on top of that, you're going to be getting bonuses from Helium 10 themselves. And now the huge bonus that you're also going to be getting is that I'm personally throwing in exclusive video training from myself on how to actually use Helium 10 for KDP specifically, okay? So a lot of people promote this, but they rarely show you how to use it step by step for KDP, okay? So you're going to be getting all of that if you use the link in the description to this video down below. And on top of this, it is also to be noted that Helium 10 offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy or you feel like Helium 10 is not a match for you, then you can just get your money back and cancel your subscription with no problems. But I would urge you to at least take a look at this video because, like I say, now is the absolute best time to start thinking about using Helium 10 for your business. So one of the reasons why the private videos exist is because there's so many ways that you can use Helium 10 for your publishing business that we literally don't have time to put all of that into one video. Okay, so this video is going to be an overview, but I want you to watch it because you're going to see how crazy powerful Helium 10 can be for your publishing business, right? So my plan going forward into 2022 for publishing is to treat KDP like an actual business. So creating books where I know that there's going to be demand or where I know that there's low competition and running ad campaigns that are actually producing a good result. So going forward into 2022 with our publishing businesses, I can promise you that you're going to need to take a more mechanical and more thoughtful approach to your publishing business. And I'm going to show you how Helium 10 can help you with that right now. Okay, so that's the annoying promotion part of the video out of the way. Let's go ahead and show you how Helium 10 can enhance your publishing business. So with publishing, the first hurdle that you need to get past is being able to find low competition niches. And we can use a variety of tools inside of Helium 10 to help us do this. But for the sake of this example and not making the video too long, we're just going to use a tool here called Blackbox on Helium 10. Okay, so I don't want you to get too confused by all the filters and everything that's going on in the screen at the moment, because in the private videos, we're going to be going over these more step by step so that you don't get lost. But the beauty behind Helium 10 is that we can use the filters here to find niches that meet our criteria. So for example, if I wanted to try and find super low competition, low content books, here's what I could do. So I could come across to the keywords tab here, which is basically going to be our niches. And what I could say here to Helium 10 is that I want to find books that have a search volume of at least 200 searches a month. So that's more than enough for a low content book. And then I'm going to plug it with a generic low content book keyword like journal. And you can literally use thousands of different combinations here, but let's just go with journal for this one. And the amazing part of Helium 10 here is that we can come across to this competing products filter here. And we can say something like, I want there to only be a maximum of 400 competing products. So when we search for this, we know that we're going to get back a load of books, and they're going to be journal related, and they're going to have a search volume of at least 200, but the competing amount of products is going to be quite low. So whatever we do find is going to be low in competition, but has searches going to it, okay? So as we scroll through the results here, we can see that these are all going to be journal related because of the keywords that we put in. But what we're going to start finding here is these low competition niches that we probably haven't seen before. So for example, we have a volleyball journal, which we can see from the Helium 10 results here has got search volume going to it, and the competing products is less than 371, okay? So already we've potentially found an opportunity to create a low content book that is low in competition as well. Okay, so that's just one of the ways that we can use Helium 10 to find low competition niches. Now inside the private videos, I'm going to be showing you more ways that you can do this with different niches as well, and even ways to find products that have really, really low amounts of competition that opens up more opportunities for our publishing business. Okay, so the next big draw of Helium 10, and this is absolutely awesome, is the ability to spy on our competition. And the tool that I'm about to show you is the same tool that I used to create my last few coloring books, and these are my best selling books this month. So basically I found out what my competition was doing, and then I replicated it while of course remaining unique in my niche. And this is what's so great about Helium 10 is that it kind of eliminates the guesswork so that you can go forward with your project with confidence, knowing that the path that you're taking is similar to that of successful competition, okay? So the tool here that we can use to literally spy on our competition is called Cerebro. So let's take a quick look at Cerebro and just one of the uses of it. Okay, so let's do a quick example here of one of the uses of Cerebro. So let's assume that the niche that we were going after was an animal coloring book. So we don't need any tools to tell us that animal coloring books are selling well on Amazon. That's pretty obvious for everyone to see. But a problem that a lot of us face here when it comes to actually creating our books and creating the title for our books is that we don't know how to position our book in the market. Because if we go in with such a broad term like animal coloring book or just coloring book, then we're going to get lost in the competition here, okay? And by now, most of us know that the title of our book is going to be pretty important, and we know that we have to have a strong keyword for the title of a book, and we want to make sure that we at least get some organic traffic to our book, okay? So if your book is an animal coloring book, then if you title your book like that, the chances are that you're just going to get lost on Amazon. So for me, I don't want to title my book too broad. So like animal coloring book is way too broad. So I want to see what are the keywords my competitors are being indexed for that are less competitive, meaning that I've got a good chance of showing up on the first few pages instead of getting lost on the last few pages of Amazon, okay? So what we can do is we can find one of our competitors' books, like this one here, for example, and then we can come down to the ASIN number, which is this one here, and we can plug that into Helium 10, okay? So let's put this into Cerebro and see what information it brings back. Okay, so this brings back a ton of information about our competitors' books. Now, again, don't worry too much about everything that's going on here because this is going to be explained more so in detail in the private videos. And just to quickly do an example here of how we can sort of filter down all these 5,000 keywords that this has brought back. So this book is indexed for 5,000 different keywords. So how do we know which ones that we can use for our book title? So I'm just going to plug a few things here into the filter where I'm going to make sure that our keywords got traffic going to it. I'm going to make sure that it has the words coloring book in it because that's what we're doing, we're making a coloring book. And I want to make sure that the competing products is going to be quite low. So 2,000 maximum. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not that many. So let's click apply and see what that brings back. Okay, so this drops the keywords now down to 36, okay? So a lot of these you aren't going to want to touch whatsoever. So adult coloring book, Disney, obviously you don't want to touch that for your book title. But what we can see here when we scroll down here and look for keywords that are really relevant and targeted toward our book, we find like this one here, for example, animal coloring book for kids 8 to 12. So we know that our competitor is being indexed for this. So we know that it's going to be relevant to our book as well. And we can see from Helium 10 that it's got traffic going to it and it's got less than 2,000 competing products. Okay, so for me, if I was going to create a title for an animal coloring book, I can use animal coloring book for kids 8 to 12. Because I know that using this, I'm going to have more chance of being found organically on Amazon than if I was just to have animal coloring book, okay? Okay, so that's just awesome. Again, it just gives us that confidence going forward, just knowing that what we're using is what our competitors are also using as well and having success with. Okay, so that's just one way that we can use Cerebro to spy on our competition and create our books around that. So very powerful stuff. Okay, so the next big deal here with Helium 10 is that we have the ability to find low cost keywords for our ad campaigns and also the ability to find keywords that our competitors are actively running ads for. So let's do an example here, and we're just going to stick with the animal coloring book niche for an example. So this is going to be the opportune moment to showcase the Helium 10 Chrome extension. So what we can do is use the X-ray feature here. So this is going to bring back a ton of information about our first page competitors. So what we want to do here is we want to find out what keywords our competitors are running ads to, but we want to be able to find the ones that we can actually afford, as in the ones that have a low click price, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a few of these books here that are related to ours. So this one, and let's go with this one as well, just for an example. And then what we can do is click the run keyword search option here. Okay, so what we can see here, and again, it's going to be a little bit confusing if you're just seeing this type of thing for the first time. But basically what's happening here is that we're getting all the keywords back that our three competitors that we've just picked off of here we're seeing all these keywords that they're indexed for. Okay, so that's a ton, and we're not going to know which ones to actually use for our ad campaigns, right? So what we can do here for a start is to make sure on the match type here that we're only finding keywords that these guys are running sponsored ads to. So let's click that and filter from here. Okay, so that drops this down to 2,400, down from 11,000. Okay, so this is looking a bit more promising. So what I'm going to do here, just for the sake of time and just to make sure that things don't get too confusing, I'm going to plug a few things into the filters here. And what we're ultimately trying to do with these filters is to filter out the keywords that are relevant to these books that these guys are actively using, but are going to be low competition. So therefore, if it's low competition, we have a chance of running cheap ads too. Okay, so I've managed to filter it down to 7 keywords. Okay, so again, just to make sure this isn't too confusing, basically what I've done is I've said to Helium10, I want to make sure that the keywords that I find, that at least 2 of my competitors are using them. So if they're using them, then we know that they're going to be good. But I also want to make sure that the competition for these keywords is low as well, as we can see here. So this filters this down to 7 keywords. So with these keywords here, we can use them in our ad campaigns. And since they're less competitive, we should be able to get cheaper clicks for these keywords. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully you can see how fantastic and powerful this tool is. So what's great here, for example, is we can see realistic animal drawing books is a keyword phrase that 2 of our competitors are using. And we can see here that it's got search volume going to it, but the competing products for this keyword is very, very low, less than 900. So if we were to run ad campaigns around just this keyword, we would have a good chance of seeing conversions, but with a low click price. Okay, so obviously nothing's set in stone here, nothing's guaranteed, but again, we're really digging and finding these profitable keywords that we can run ad campaigns to. Okay, so hopefully that hasn't been too confusing and you can actually see the power that this has here. And of course, there are tons and tons of different ways that we can use this in order to find keywords for ads, but this is just one of the ways that I've been using it. And again, inside the private videos, which I'm going to be updating as often as I can, we're going to look at loads of different ways to find these keywords too. Okay, so that's just a quick showcase of Helium10. That's just some of the features that you can use to enhance your publishing business. Now, again, just to reiterate what the deal is here, it lasts from the 27th of this month to the 29th of this month. And with that, you're going to get the Platinum plan for half price for the first 2 months. And on top of that, you're going to get the Helium10 bonuses that they throw in. And then on top of that, you're going to get the private videos from me as well. So to get all these bonuses, you need to order from the link in the description. Okay, so it's to be noted, if you want to get access to those private videos, you're going to need to email me your Helium10 invoice, just to obviously prove that you've purchased it. And then I'm going to invite you to the private Facebook group for there. So I'm going to put my email up on screen now. And I'm also going to put it in the description, in the first comment in the comment section as well. Okay, so that's it for this video. Overall, I do think Helium10 is a fantastic tool. I understand paid software is not for everyone, but I think at this point where you're getting 2 months for half price and with the bonuses on top of that, plus the money back guarantee, I think this is going to be the absolute perfect moment for you to at least try Helium10. So I'd definitely try it for those 2 months at least and see how you get on with it. And yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you very soon.